Om Namah Shivaya, Asenest Fire, here on the way of Dharma. This is a continuation video discussing the subject of magic. But today we are doing a different thing. We are going to discuss briefly the 7 Hermetic laws of Tahuti and how practical are they, how applicable are they to an occultist or a magician's life. Before you continue, please know that this is a channel where mantras will be shared, spiritual topics, satsangs, yoga asanas, and occult information. If you are new over here, please make sure that you do subscribe, make sure that you do like the video, and make sure that you stay tuned until the end. The information shared over here should not be taken as professional advice. Please seek for professional advice, seek for medical advice where such is required. This is not the gospel. I am not the Lord Almighty, and I am not your Jesus. Om Namah Shivaya, Asenest Fire. I'd like to give thanks to the sun, give thanks to Venus, give thanks to Mars, give thanks to the moon, give thanks to Mercury, give thanks to Jupiter, give thanks to Rahu, give thanks to Ketu, and I give thanks to all the 9 planets. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Adityaya Somaya, Mangalaya Buddhaya Cha, Guru Shukra Shanibhyascha, Rahave Ketave Namaha. Om. So yes, today we are going to talk about the 7 Hermetic principles of Tahuti and how applicable are they to a magician's life. One thing that I want you to understand in this video, it all begins within. One of the reasons why I urge you to practice the spells, to practice the magic, is the fact that it will show you that everything begins from within. Nothing that happens in the external world happens as a mistake or as a coincidence. So, by taking that accountability and that responsibility of practicing magic, you are molding the external world to your conscious thought, to your conscious dreams, basically. You are literally creating your future consciously. You understand? Practicing magic will show you that everything begins from within. It begins with your thoughts. It begins with your internal universe. That's what I want you to know going forward. Each and every day, it's a battle between negativity and positivity. You have to choose daily to be positive daily. If you choose to be positive daily, you do that for a week, you have a positive week. You do that for a month, you have a positive month. You do that for a year, you have a positive year. You do that forever, you will have a positive and prosperous life. You understand? It all begins with the minutes, the seconds, the days, the weeks, the months, then the years, and then a lifetime. Earlier this year, I was doing a sadhana of Baglamuki, doing a certain number of recitations. Okay, let me pause. So yes, guys, I was saying that everything begins within you, And oh, okay, I was talking about the dream that I had when I was busy talking about the Bagalamukhi sadhana that I was doing earlier in the year. So it was a 45-day sadhana of a mantra japa. And as you will discover when you are getting, I don't want to say advanced, when you are getting into Tantra, you will realize that the more powerful mantras or the mantras that you do for certain devis, Shakti devis, powerful devis, uh, most of the japa you'll have to do it within inside your mind basically. You don't do it aloud as is popularly perceived in most mantras or mantra sadhanas. So I do that sadhana, and then something happens to my mind. I don't know. I don't want to say things that I can't confirm for sure. But this is one of the things that I can pinpoint this back to. I think I unlocked a certain level of power in my mind that was uncontrollable because at the time my environment wasn't influencing me positively at the time. And the people around me were not influencing me positively. And I had done the mistake of shifting my focus, my power, and my expectations from myself to the external environment. So my mind became uncontrollable. Uh, Another thing that I can also consider that actually makes sense, and I've just read on this. When you do a japa, certain parts of your mind, vasanas, and your karmas, and a shadow aspect of yourself comes out. Certain psychosis, certain things that plague your mind, they resurface. And then you face certain traumas, but you have to do it like a witness. You shouldn't take it personally, is what I'm trying to say. So you should observe it from another perspective, as a third party. Because in actuality, you are the third party. The mind is not the soul. It's part of the illusion, basically. So that's how you should look at it. Okay? So that's what happened. It got unlocked. Okay. But that's not what I wanted to say in this thing, in this instance. So I did the Bagalamukhi sadhana on, I think, the first or the third day. I had a dream. In the dream, this is what was revealed to me. That in the dream they said that there's a device that is being used to monitor the growth and progress and consciousness of humanity. How it was shown to me, it was as if there was something that was physically hindering or imprisoning our consciousness, or monitoring us basically to not pass a certain height in the sky by way of thinking, by way of consciousness. I can't quite articulate it, but this is the impression that I got from it intuitively, that there was a device that was being used to monitor our consciousness, to block our consciousness from actually rising. Okay. So in the dream, one of the things that I could liken it to was the eye on the dollar bill. And I did post it on my posts. If you can check on the channel posts, there's a post that talks about the eye, the all-seeing eye, monitoring our growth of consciousness, the terrible eye of the chitauri, the extraterrestrials. Okay, I get to find this out, and then it makes perfect sense. I share it in multiple groups of occultism. Some say that I might be actually onto something. Some just dismiss it as though I am a fool or a crazy person. But I keep quiet. And I analyze. I scrutinize. And then I come across brothers like Billy Carson. And it is confirmed. My dream is confirmed. The thing that is monitoring our growth and consciousness is a device or a satellite that was first discovered by Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was an African man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to colonize the entire people, the entire nation of great people. People like Nikola Tesla. So we changed the name from Nikola to Nikolai. So he's a black man. So yes, Nikola Tesla discovered this thing that was orbiting around our sun, around our planet. It was orbiting in the polar regions, basically, not equatorial. So it was orbiting the poles, you understand. I can't quite say it with the good English. But I'm sorry, guys. It's orbiting around the poles, the north and the south. So the calculations of I Earth to be able to monitor I planet effectively, I'm changing the message. You'd have to do that polar orbiting because it wouldn't be sufficient for you to get enough data based off of orbiting equatorial, meaning in the equator regions, basically. So Nikola Tesla, when he first perceived this object, he thought that it was Mars, the planet Mars, basically. Okay, and then further, the government, the American government and the Russian government discovered this object via NASA and the space programs. You understand? So when the Americans, that is, discovered this object, they thought that it was they thought that it was they thought that it was the Russians, basically. They thought that the Russians were the ones to launch the satellite in space. But then they saw the size of this thing. I think it's 15 tons. It's a huge object, basically. So they thought to themselves, they can't launch such a huge object into space. How would the Russians launch it? Apparently this object was there. The first recorded accounts of it were actually 13,000 years ago. And this is to be found in the emerald tablets. Now this is information that I got from listening to Billy Castle. But then I had a dream of something monitoring our consciousness. So apparently this thing can be tracked to the constellation of Boatis. Yes, constellation. So further when they track it, they see that the constellation belongs to Enlil. Enlil is a deity from the Sumerian pantheon or mythology. A brother to Enki. Okay, that's another story over here. But the characters of Enlil and Enki and other Sumerian gods are the characters you may find in each and every ancient mythology. So, the character Jehovah, Yahweh, is the same character, the jealous God, as Enlil. You understand? So, the all-knowing Jehovah, God, is actually using a device to monitor our growth and consciousness, to monitor all happenings and accounts on our planet Earth. So you see now, very, very strange. So now we move to the portion of the video where I really wanted to talk about. You understand? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys regarding that post that I did, regarding a dream that I received when I was doing Bagla Mukisa Adhana. You understand? So now let's talk about the mind and the 7 Hermetic laws of Tahuti. Now who is Tahuti? Tahuti is Thoth, the Egyptian god of knowledge. The one with the head of the Iblis bird. Is it Iblis or Ibis? Yes, the one with that head. The god of wisdom, basically. So that's Tahuti, Thoth. So, Thoth compiled the 7 laws of Tahuti. They were later organized by the 3 initiates. The 3 initiates, this is what I suspect. One of the guys from the 3 initiates is actually Yogi Ramacharaka, William Atkinson. Those guys, the old occultists, basically. So, further, these 7 Hermetic laws, a small portion of them were actually used to write the secret, that book of laws of attraction. Okay. So the 7 Hermetic laws are this: the principle of vibration, the principle of cause and effect, the principle of polarity, the principle of rhythm, the principle of gender, the principle of what else? Rhythm, correspondence, the principle of correspondence, and other ones. Okay, I think I've mentioned 7 of them, but I can't quite remember. So those are the 7 Hermetic laws. Each and every law in the 7 Hermetic principles reinforces another. The principle of polarity tells you that good and bad are poles of the same thing, basically. They are just different in degree. When you have north, when you have the south, it's the same thing. They are only different in the form that north is up there and south is down there. But they are polar regions. They are the same thing, basically. If you have a pole, when you go this side, it's negative. When you go that side, it's positive. But they are the same thing. It's just that you experience a different thing by the degree or by the vibration you move at. Okay. Depending on the vibration you will be at. So as a wise person, you wouldn't want to be polarized. You would want to take the middle path. The path of being above duality. The path of union, the yoga. You unite two sides and then you become above them and then you are the master. And then we come back to the principle of cause and effect. This principle says, for everything that happens, there is a cause. For every effect, there is a cause. And every cause will definitely have an effect, and every effect was definitely caused. So there is no coincidence, basically. So now the trick is to do what? To make the unconscious conscious. You understand? So that you can organize your life in the way that you would want. You understand? So this is how the mind works. When you send out a thought, it will definitely have a result. When I send out a thought of positivity, it goes out into the universe to seek expression. And when it seeks expression, it manifests. And when it manifests, it comes back to the owner with its friends. It multiplies, basically. And then it comes back to the owner or the creator. You understand? So it's a constant back and forth with the universe. And whenever you think a thought, it seeks expression and then it happens immediately. It begins to form your life in the way that you are thinking. If you say that you are sad, automatically you are organizing your life to actually make you sad. You are sending out a thought, it seeks expression, and it comes back with sadness and anxiety and fear. So now there's three of them. They are coming to nyam you and play you. Before we go further, my life is blissful. And I live gloriously. So yes, guys, this is how the mind works. When you send out a thought, it seeks expression in the universe and then it comes back in multiple forms. This is where you get the rule of 3. When you do something, it comes back to you 3 times. This is the law of thought and the law of correspondence and the law of cause and effect. You understand? What you do on the inside corresponds to that which is without. When you think negative thoughts, they go outside and create a negative external world. So now you have the internal that is negative, now you have the external that is negative. As within, so without. Now you have a correspondence of good and of bad things, basically. Your negativity corresponds to the negativity externally. As a magician, guys, as somebody who wants to work with the powers of the mind, it all starts with you. If you love yourself, someone else will love you. If you are happy, choose to be happy. The people around you will be happy because internally you feel happy and then externally it will correspond to your internal universe. So guys, never ever make the mistake of reacting to the external, because when you react to the external, you are giving it power, And when you give the external power, you are giving your power away to the mind. Because your mind can be stimulated from within and without. So when you receive sensory input from outside that makes you sad, internally you will be sad. And then when you be sad, you send out thoughts of sadness that will further validate the sadness externally, creating a conversation, a constant back and forth with I universe of negativity. You understand? So that's how the mind works. In Dharma, we are taught that there is no unconscious mind and conscious mind. Instead, mind, it's all one thing. What you would deem as conscious mind are that which is gross, basically. There are gross parts of I mind which are responsible for the involuntary things, the instincts, and all that stuff. Those are gross, and they are a lower level of mind. And there's also a subtle aspect of I mind which seeks to be explored, basically. So when you do yoga, when you work on I mind, you are actually expanding your consciousness to the subtle aspects of I mind. You understand? That's what you are doing, basically. Exploring the subtler aspects of I mind. Ever since I've started this occult journey in 2019, I did meditation, I felt peacefully, and I did some Raja Yoga exercises that I got from various books to actually, let me fix something, to actually experience peace. Guys, what I was experiencing for the past, is it 3 or 4 years? It's 4, basically. What I've been experiencing for 4 years, guys, I've been happy, blissful like a baby, like nothing was bothering me. It's only this year that I was awakened to the harsh reality of life without meditation, life without taking the power back to I self, being a reactor, basically. I honestly can't comprehend how people are alive with that kind of mindset. Imagine living every day in that depression. For I even thought that death was actually the way out. You understand? So I've been blissful, all because of Dharma, all thanks to Dharma and occult practices. That is how the mind works, the way I was explaining to you. Explore the subtler, the higher vibrations of I mind. You understand? So that you can experience the higher, the subtler aspect of I life and levity. So that's what I wanted to discuss with you guys. Never ever give your power to external tools. Never ever give your power to external people. Whatever that's outside there, it responds to your inner universe. Never ever ever forget that. Never ever forget that. Choose to be happy today. Choose to be blissful today. Choose to be grateful today. Not tomorrow, not next week. It starts with now. You understand? Start to feel happiness now. Talk positively to yourself. Be positive. in everything you do. And the most powerful, magic, is that of the subtler aspects of I and I mind. Basically, you understand? It's that of the subtler aspects of mind. Let me tell you how magic works. Magic works to influence I and I mind. It works to influence the mind. You understand? So when you perform magic, you are indirectly influencing the mind, because some of them, I don't want to say us, some of them don't have the power to think strongly to make sure that they get a result out of I and I universe. They don't have the strong magical or willpower to actually cause a change in I and I universe. I remember when I was Christian, guys, every prayer that I was praying as a Christian, it got answered. And part of this occult journey is what I've prayed for when I was still a Christian. I prayed for knowledge and wisdom. So guys, my prayers were answered because I was focused at the time, and I wasn't wavering in thought, and I was convicted in what I wanted. So guys, ordinary people, they don't have enough magical power, enough willpower, enough focus to actually cause a change. So rituals are there to influence I and I mind and intensify the energy to cause a change in the universe. When you get leaves, when you get certain elements, ritual tools, you combine them because they mean certain things to you subconsciously or in I and I mind. When you get things like the Luciferian dagger, let me show I and I people. So guys, this is my dagger that I was using when I was still a Luciferian, and you might have seen my banishing ritual on the channel when I was doing the lesser banishing rite of I and I pentagram. So this is what I was using at the time, guys. It means certain things to you. This thing, it means power, it means protection, and many other symbolic interpretations that you might have when you are an occultist. Let me show you another thing. I and I copper. You understand? Copper means vitality, it means wealth, it means health, it means intensification of energy, it means organ generator and power. So that's what it means to I and I mind subconsciously. So when I want to perform a ritual of vitality and wealth, I would require copper because that's what it means to I and I mind. So I use a ritual to create a thought of wealth and vitality. So I use I and I copper as a tool, as an energy signature to intensify that which I'm trying to create. I use copper. I find another element or a ritual tool. Guys, don't mind me over here. I was bitten by someone. I was yamming with my fists the other day. So he bit me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a guy of peace. I don't hit people now. So yes, guys, the copper that I'm telling you about, you would require the copper. You would require what? Maybe let's say a patchouli leaf. A patchouli leaf for money, to attract money. So now I have two symbols or symbolic things that would or energy signatures. I would have the energy of the copper, I would have the energy of the patchouli. So now they are one thing because now they vibrate on the same thing. They can attract money and vitality basically. So I have a thought and energy basically to cause change in the universe. And then I have my intent. And then I have other tools that would be in harmony with what I'm trying to manifest. I combine all those three with my thought and intent. They become a powerful energy, powerful enough to cause a change into the universe. And then I release it out into the universe by doing what? Performing a ritual. At the climax of the ritual, I leave the thing and then it manifests. So now I've influenced my mind and I've added some more energy to actually cause a change in the universe. Those energies would be compensating for I and I mind, for I and I focus, for I and I willpower, because at that time it wouldn't be strong. But as you raise your vibration, you raise and expand your consciousness in the subtler aspects of I and I mind, you get to discover that only by thinking certain things, you get a spontaneous manifestation. It goes on to the level whereby you are able to perform a ritual early in the morning and then you literally get the results later in the day. I man have a beautiful, blissful life. I man is a man of peace. A man comfy live. Rastafari levity. So yes, guys, that's the beauty of magic. That's the beauty of practicing rituals, because you get to be able to influence your mind to actually get a result immediately. I was able to do rituals to actually get the things that I wanted sometimes daily, to get a result manifest immediately on that day. So it's because you have done this so much to a point whereby your thought, your mind basically, can be influenced easily, and you actually become adept at it. When you get a ritual and you can't get results, as a magician, I'm here to tell you another secret. As a magician, as a tantric, it doesn't mean that the magic is not working. Do that ritual until it gives you a result. This is the mindset that you need to have when dealing with I and I universe. You understand? The chick, the girls, the girl, to be specific, when I told her that I wanted her, that I wanted to be with her, she refused. But I didn't take no for an answer, because I and I know of the subtler aspects of I and I mind. So I do a ritual continuously until I get what I want. You understand? Because I am an influence, I and I mind. I am an influence, I and I mind. I'm therefore capable to influence everyone mind. You understand? It starts with you. I remember discovering this. I wrote something on my small board. I said this: if I can control my body, I can control every other body, because we are in actuality the same thing on a human level. What influences you can also influence me. So if I control my body, I'm able to influence your body. If I can influence my mind, I can influence your mind. The rituals, the most powerful magic, is that which is done to change you, and then automatically it will change the external environment. This is the golden rule of I and I magic. But then there's a scam to that. When you start to meddle with people's lives by controlling your inner self, you get to be lost in your power, and then you start to be entitled to those people. You start to want to control every aspect of those people's lives, and then now you are attached to them, and now you are just like the wizard or the witch you see in the neighborhood, always monitoring people's consciousness and growth and financial prosperity. So now you want to bewitch everyone. You cast evil eyes on everyone because you think that you are entitled to controlling their lives because now you know magic. You've seen that you can control certain aspects of people's lives. It's not the way to live. Be blissful, like I and I Asenes fire. Peace, bliss, and glory. I and I give thanks to the sun. Om Sum Suryaya Namaha. So yes guys, I'm just happy talking to you like this. It's because I'm happy and I'm that kind of personality. So yes guys, the secrets that I wanted to share with you are these secrets. This is how mind works. You should be very, very careful not to give other people your power by expecting them to behave a certain way. Accept people for what they are and the levels of vibrations they are in. Don't expect anything from them. I went out with a few friends. I was very, very sad. Those friends are drunkards. Those friends smoke the herb. So I went out with them. It was at night. And then I had to come back home because I had to edit the video where I'm wearing the tie-dye, basically. The colorful tie-dye. So I had to edit that. I told them that I need to come back and work on the video, expecting them to accompany me because I'm as a working man. So it was late at night, 11 p.m. at night, and I expected them to accompany me. And then I was sad at the time. The sadness was creating an external environment which was responding to my internal environment, which was manifestation of sadness, basically. So I came back. Instead of them accompanying me, they didn't accompany me. And I was very, very sad because of that, because it was dangerous and I'm alone. And having that trauma of people robbing me, my phone at the time, earlier in the year, it was very, very sad. So I came back and then I was chanting Bhaglamukhi mantra in my mind. And then I came back to my house where I stay. Not my house, I don't own a house. To where I stay. And then I was sad because these guys basically deserted me and abandoned me to come back. But then I sat down and I wasn't angry at them because I discovered something. I let myself to be with them. I let myself to associate myself with those guys, knowing that they are drunkards, knowing their past, and knowing that they are in the nature that they are. I decided to go with them. So if anything was to happen to me, it was all my fault. Those guys are vibrating on that level. It's their nature and they will continue to do things like that because it's their nature. I have to accept them the way they are. And in future, unfortunately, I won't be associating with them. Om Namah Shivaya, Asenest Fire. Here on the way of Dharma. I think I'm hearing a knock. Anyway, that's what I wanted to discuss with you. Everything, you should be able to be accountable for it. Be responsible. Take accountability. It will not get better. Don't sit back. It won't get better. You make it better as a magician, as a human being, as soul. Most importantly, as soul. Whatever happens to I and I body, I know that nothing happens to I and I soul because I am soul. And if you can't touch soul, you can't do me anything. These things have been changed. They have been dying ever since the first human has walked upon I and I planet. I've been changing bodies. Each and every one of us have been changing bodies. If you see me looking like this, loving and being attracted to Dharma of the Indians, I'm not doing anything Indian. This is cosmic law, eternal cosmic law. We are one thing, we are soul, we are not the body. Just because I appear like a Rasta man, now I'm a black man, now I'm doing African spirituality. Now I have to fight the system. We are the same thing. We are soul. You understand? And as soul, there's people that play roles in a physical body. Some of them are not awakened to the fact that they are soul. If they feel sad because their life is like that, leave them feeling sad. You can't do anything. You can only do what? Choose to be happy, choose to be blissful, choose to be a magician, and maybe choose to nyam them with your magic and influence them with your magic, because they are not in the position whereby they are able to influence themselves. You understand? So that's what it is. Detachment, focus on I and I self. Fire upon them who give us the wrong knowledge. Fire upon them who tell us that magic and occultism is without our vicinity. Fire upon them who turn our eyes externally to the external world, making us think that we have no power over our circumstances and our reality. Fire upon them who spread false knowledge and wrong knowledge of self. Fire upon them Christians. Fire upon Illuminati. Fire upon them who call themselves almighty. I and I arsonist fire here on the way of Dharma. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for experiencing this bliss and joy with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your support. I love you all, guys. Om Namah Shivaya Arsonist fire here on the way of Dharma. This is another video. Please make sure that you do like. Please make sure that you do subscribe. And make sure that you do what? You never ever forget I and I power. We are all powerful. We are soul. Awaken to the inner reality. And everything happens as a result of the internal universal happening. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namah Shivaya.